I'm frozen. Got it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's quick session, all on board. هدف الجلسة اليوم is simply to share with you some information on the program flow. والأهم من هيك يعني نحن we've already bombarded you with some emails to get on Airtable, to get on LivePlan. فالأهم من هيك also is to make sure that any concerns, any questions that you have are answered. So very quickly, this is our agenda. The investment readiness is well underway, and I'll speak very briefly on that. We're going to go over the program flow on Airtable, discuss some important milestones, and then make sure that everybody received their invitation on LivePlan, and then have a quick Q&A. So we should be done in 25 minutes. And then if anybody has questions or would like to discuss things, then we've budgeted an hour for this, so we will be on the call. So everybody did their investment readiness on for the self-assessment. The reason for the self-assessment is twofold. One is getting you acquainted with some of the lingo and what we're looking at, and creating alignment between the core team and your startup. So we are 30% done with the investment readiness على entry. Most of you have not completed that yet because your session is either today or tomorrow or after tomorrow. But the investment readiness is super important for several reasons. One, it's looking at your startup from an investment readiness perspective, meaning طاقية الVC. Right? So this is what the VC is thinking. This is what the VC, even if they are interested, حتى لو انهم مهتمين وقعدوا معاكم, they're going to do due diligence. راح يطلعوا على الفاينانشالز تبعتكم, راح يطلعوا على expansion plans, راح يطلعوا على team growth. So if we can cover and preempt, خلنا نحكي نحن نفكر زي ما عم بفكر الانفستور, then our support to you will be much more impactful. We will repeat the investment readiness at the exit, and hopefully we can see a shift in the delta, basically the change of your work and the value added of the program. A couple of things on the investment readiness. This also allows us to identify key areas where you should be putting your time, effort, and money, right? There's a lot of things that need to happen for you to get an investment and for your startup to be successful. But what are the top 10 that we need to be working on during the program? So this will allow us to clarify that. I'm going to share, let's talk about the program flow. And let me share another screen here. So you all should have received an invite and a link to onboard on Airtable. Airtable is, as you can see, it's a SaaS-based solution where we can put all the program components and the information on there. Now, you will see in the top, okay, you've got startups, you've got community, that's our community, you've got the journey, you've got the calendar, you've got support, and then resources and opportunities. So under startups, you go here and you see that all your startups are there. If you expand on, let's say we go Drone Leaf, if you expand on one of them, then you see more details here. What we advise you to do at this point is to check that all the information on your startup is there. We'll be adding more details here, for example, traction and other things that are for us as we manage the program. But what we would like minkum هلا to, read the startup one-liner. If you have an issue with, you guys put me in the wrong industry, whatever it is, just make sure that your profile looks good. Some of you don't have a website. We don't have a website for you. That means on file. But please share with Nadine any information that you need to basically fix your profile on Airtable. Another thing is this allows you to see مين معاكم بالcohort. Okay, مين هدول سكورة شو بيعملوا. All right. Well, they're an AI company that's helping aspiring footballers, right? And we want you to know مع مين عم تعملوا البروجرام. This is part of the community engagement, part of as well إنه كيف نقدر نحن نستغل الخبرات والقدرات والتجارب اللي موجودة بالcommunity to serve each other. Okay. But this brings us to the community here. And this is where we have all the founders. So you will see that your startup is linked. Some of you, again, في شغلات missing. The expertise, this is an area that we want to have 5 words saying, for example, Iyas, مثلا knows, studied finance. He's worked in finance and investments, and he's an actor. That's his expertise. Why? Because this helps us as well. And Zaid Maldi, مثلا, he has a big data expertise. I'll reach out to Zaid mumkin. Right. So there's a lot of value that you can get from that. So everybody is here. Again, please make sure that the information we have for you is correct, meaning check that the LinkedIn is the right link, check that the email is correct, and then Nadine in the coming days will be asking you to tell us your expertise, okay? So we're gonna be adding that. Some of you we don't have pictures for, means we couldn't find an available picture, so please make sure that you send that. The other thing, and in the weeks ahead, because Ramadan, we are just onboarding. The team here, these are your startup team. These are not your founders. These are an intern عم بيشتغل معاكم. This is somebody who's helping you do business development. This is your UX UI person within the team. So we don't have those people yet. We need to be adding them so that we really have a vibrant community. Under facilitators and the coaches, you will see the people that will be delivering and providing services for you. Okay, we're adding to these, and you can see that the directory, they're either a facilitator or a facilitator and a coach. Okay, a coach means that you will be able to have one-on-one sessions with them, ask them very specific things. Let's say John McIntyre, he's our experts in business experiments. He's also a coach, so you can do a request and sit with John, and we will be compensating John for that. So again, we have all the coaches and all the facilitators here. Please go through them. The VCs and investors, we're currently adding. We have a database, but we're vetting it and we're adding to this list. So expect that more people and more funds will be added there with more detailed information on the fund, on their websites, so to facilitate as well the investment conversations. And then you've got the core team. We are 4 people only, but we're agile, we're nimble, and we are basically here to serve you. So just to clarify, strategically, you are our beneficiaries. So we need you to be happy. We need you to close investments. We need you to enhance your investment readiness. But our customers, if you will, are downstream investors. the ecosystem itself. نحن هدفنا نحسن الكواليتي من ناحية نوعية ومن ناحية كمان diversity of technologies, focusing on deep tech. يعني إذا بتلاحظوا عندنا a couple of startups that are kind of e-commerce style, but we want to focus on deep tech. ليش؟ بدنا نحسن البايبلاين for downstream investors, so that when you leave the core program, if you go speak to anybody in the ecosystem that knows us, if you say, you know, we graduated from the core, then that is a stamp of, at least this is our hope. Okay, and we're continuously improving. That is a stamp that these guys know what they're doing. As you can see from the list of startups, we are not here working with the idea stage startups or entrepreneurs لساتهم عم بتعلموا كذا. عندنا other programming ندعم الفئة هاي. نحن هون عم نشتغل مع ناس that are very serious, that there is big potential. كل الستارت اطلعنا عليهم من ناحية إنه can this potentially fly or not? Okay, not everybody will, not all the startups will fly, but we feel that we have a great cohort for Core Delta. The next thing is the journey itself. So if you see here, there's two main views for you. There's events by theme, all right? So you have here program-specific things, مثلا master classes with deep dives. If you want to check the material out, we have shared with you a Google Drive. You forgot where it is, or you didn't see it in the email, you can come here and go on this, and then click, and you get a Google folder there, all right? Another thing is for these are program specific, is the assessment. بعد كل master class or deep dive, بعد كل engagement, basically, كل event, we have literally a 20-second assessment. Okay, how valuable was this information? How effective was the facilitator? And would you recommend this? How likely are you to recommend this to a friend? A net promoter score. It'll take you 5 seconds. You click on the link, you choose the session that you had just attended or watched, because some of them will be recorded. Yani some of you will be watching this as a recorded session. And you just give us your assessment. And then there's always optional room to say, listen, this topic was completely irrelevant for me. Oh, this topic was too advanced, or this topic was too basic, because that feedback ensures that we are continuously improving our offering. So you can see that we have quite a few themes, and an investment readiness theme, a business and strategy theme, technology and data theme, innovation and disruption, team and culture, growth and scalability, pitching, leadership and impact, founder well-being, and then the business simulations, okay? And then we'll be doing community fireside chats. Either we do it here in the center, or we can also, if we're bringing in international speakers, having a 45-minute fireside chat with them, where it's not a presentation, it's not a masterclass, where we're just asking them some questions and allowing the community mostly to ask them questions, okay? So this is one view where you can see the program in terms of the themes, but you can also see it in terms of types, okay? So here you see that there are milestones. We are still working out the exact dates, okay? So there is work still being done on the programming, because some facilitators will not be able to deliver at this date. So there's going to be maybe a 10% deviation from what you see now in terms of dates, but we have milestones. So for example, first milestone is you're onboarded. What does that mean? Well, that means that you have submitted your KYC, you have signed the incubation agreement, you are onboarded on Airtable, you are onboarded on LivePlan, you added the Core Delta calendar to your personal calendar, and you've completed the investment readiness at the entry. This means your startup is onboarded. خلاص, we say, okay, you're onboarded. There are other milestones for life plan, initial draft. This is in May, so that we can start seeing, okay, what does the business plan look like? The financial model developed, then the financial model vetted, business plan vetted, and then business plan enhanced, pitch ready, and having your first investor conversation. So this means that you have an idea as to your valuation, you have an idea قديش بدنا مصاري, when بدنا نستعمل المصاري هاي. For this will guide the journey, okay? And then you can see as well, the deep dives are 3. Very few sessions are going to be an all-day thing. One is a workshop on optimizing your team, and the others are the SimVenture simulations. So they're going to be an all-day thing. Everything else is either a deep dive or a masterclass. The deep dive are usually 3 hours with a break. But the reason why they're 3 hours is because we're asking you to be working on your startup. So let's say we're talking about customer journey. Then we're going to ask you, listen, start doing it. Okay, so there are breakout rooms, so you won't feel the time. The master classes are more tactical. They're an hour and a half, and then up to another half hour of discussion. But if an hour and a half was enough and nobody has any questions, then it's an hour and a half. The SimVenture, you will receive in May licenses to this very powerful business simulation tool. You will have a 4-month license. And the idea here is, we always say, we are not here to improve your business acumen. ما بهمنا يصير عندكم معلومات جديدة مش عم بتطبقوها على الستارت اب تبعكم. Okay? فكيف نقدر نحن نحسن ونطور الذكاء بنموذج العمل, الذكاء بكيف أنا ببني ستارت اب. The business intelligence conversation. There will be pitch clinics. Okay, so you will sign up to those pitch clinics after you've received some pitching guidance and stuff. And then we're going to be doing reverse pitching مع VCs. So بدل ما نحن نضلنا نحكي, بدنا نحكي مع VCs, تعالوا يا VCs انتوا قولوا لنا شو بدكم, شو عم بتفتشوا, شو البروسيس تبعكم, شو الديو ديليجنس تبعكم. فقبل ما نحن نعمل pitching للinvestors, we're going to do several of these reverse pitching. نجيب مثلا propeller ونقول لهم give us a 20-minute pitch on your fund. Why should I be speaking to you? Okay, reverse نقلب الطوائي شوي, because just because somebody has the ability to invest in you does not necessarily make them the best candidate for you to receive their money. But you have to also be vetting the VCs that you're going to be talking to. But we call these reverse pitching. Community learning we're going to be doing these monthly sessions where it's whoever wants to come and join can come and join, and maybe you can invite other people from outside the community. And these are topics that, let's say Ali has an expertise بشغلة معينة, حابب يشارك الcommunity with تجربة معينة خاضها مع VC وقالوا له لا, انه طب let's debrief ليش قالوا لي لا, وشو كانت المشاكل, وشو هلا عم بعمل. ممكن تكون شغلات very specific. How do you use we know that we have some expertise within the community on for example big data or payment integration. So we can have a community learning event where it's an opportunity to network. It's an opportunity to hear from people. And this is not your typical جاي أعطي محاضرة, right? No, it's a more of a discussion, very short. If somebody wants to share an experience, like let's share it in 10 minutes, or they want to share some kind of expertise. I've started using ChatGPT to automate my marketing, and this is what I've been learning. Okay, things like that. And then social events, we will have a couple of social events where we invite you. They could be a combination of celebrating somebody's birthday, getting lunch for everybody, things like that. Okay, so it's as you can see, there's There's quite a bit of things. We are not expecting you to attend every single session every single time. We are expecting you to engage for sure. Okay, but some things will be less valuable for you. We will make those recommendations. So if you go into any of these, you will see that it's recommended for all. Okay, let me just do something here. Recommended for. Okay, so we'll show you. It will show you a high level what this session is recommended for whom. Okay, so for example, hacking go-to-market, it's recommended for growth track. That doesn't mean that launch track shouldn't attend. It just means that there's an emphasis. Hey, if you are growth track, then this is for you. Okay. There's a lot of things that are there's some things that are launch and growth tracks. So you will evaluate. One thing that is important is to, going back here to the community, is to help us put all your team members here. Okay. And then we invite them. So we are not just interested in capacitating the founders. You're only as good as your team. انت كفounder او انت كفounder فلت بالfinancial modeling. طيب, let other people from your team attend these sessions so that they have an idea. Okay, we're doing a session مثلا, let's say, on customer journey mapping, CX. Okay, customer journey mapping. You have done stuff like that with IDEO. But bring your team. You can recommend it to your team. And by having your team here and having them on Airtable, they can quickly go see, okay, what sessions are coming up, and so on and so forth. So there's a calendar here. The calendar is linked to Google Calendar. Okay, so whatever you see here is the same that you see on Google Calendar. You go here and you can say either expand record, it gives you the start, the end time, but open in Google Calendar, and Google Calendar opens up. We recommend that you add this calendar to your personal calendar. We send you emails, and our approach is to have multiple points for you to know what's happening. So we will send you an email. We will also send you a reminder, but the program is laid out for you. Okay, so you can see all the events that are happening so you can program. Okay, again, there will, especially this week, there might be some 10-15% variation with regards to certain dates. But anyways, لسه احنا ما بلشنا رمضان، ماخدينه هيك سكر خفيف. Make sure that everybody is onboarded properly. We highly recommend going back to Core Delta, Airtable. We highly recommend you download Airtable app, because it's just very easy. Okay, it's very easy, very useful. سمعتوا conversation مع حدا عم بيعمل big data, you thought of a startup بالcohort, شو اسمها, شو اسم الفounder, I can connect them with it. تفتح Airtable, you see the startups, you see the community, you can create more value. So please download Airtable on your phone. Okay, so now to support. And this is really where we feel we're quite differentiated in our approach, because we're not going to come and tell everybody you need to do financial modeling. We trust the founder to understand and to vet their financial model and say, okay, I have a financial model. I want to vet it. I want to vet those assumptions. So you can book a financial modeling session with our financial expert. You don't know how to financial model at all. You're having problems developing your assumptions. You can book a session. You need taxation and accounting, legal. So what you see here is that we have 17 services you can ask for. These strategy sessions with either myself or Rizet are done through Calendly. That's the only thing that we can control our own time. The others, because they're service providers and facilitators, we have to coordinate with them. So you will go and you will say, okay, I want technology road mapping. You go here. Just to make sure it's sharing all my tabs. So you would go here, you choose your startup, let's say Cluster Labs, your name, Yazan, test, your email, yazan@hea.global. Support needed. I want business plan support, agile development, branding, design, due diligence, financial model, human-centered design, and CX. Here, in order for us ما تقعد مع الكوتش أو تقعدي مع الكوتش and you are spending 20 minutes explaining to them what you do, right? So if a coach is going to be engaged on your startup, we will grant them access على live plan so that, and Airtable, so they have a very good idea on what you do. Our coaches and facilitators are onboarded on the program in the same way that you're onboarded, but in a different way. Like, these are the startups, this is what we feel we need to help them with. But here, telling somebody, you know, I need to develop 2 user personas, okay? If you have any relevant documentation, you can upload it here. What have you done about it that didn't work? Why do we ask this question? Because we want the money we pay for these experts to have a bang for your buck, or our buck in this case, okay? So if you have not done anything, just say, I haven't done anything. But maybe you have, right? So maybe you're asking for some sales and marketing, and you know, you could tell the coach, I have tried doing social media marketing and I've been spending $500 a month, and my customer acquisition cost is very high, okay? Here, you can choose who you want to talk to if you know somebody in specific, or you can just say, I don't know. You can choose your preferred mode of support. Do you want this to be a Zoom? Do you want a physical meeting? That can only happen with physical meetings with only local, or do you want email support? Okay, so again, we're experimenting, so we will look at these numbers and see, and then how much time you think you want. Maybe it's a very quick thing. Maybe you just want to sit with the legal advisor and tell them, listen, I have a need to develop a shareholder agreement. These are the shareholders, and these are the terms, or an employee contract. So you choose and then suggest 3 different times, okay? And then if you have any other information that we should be aware of, you tell us. That way, when your request comes to us, we vet it and we brief the coach. قبل ما يقعد معاكم, they're already like, it's like, okay, I see that you've been spending money. I saw from your business plan XYZ. So it's not like you have to repeat yourself. We are a startup that uses machine learning to do I don't know what. All of that will be shared with the coach, okay? So as you can see, we have quite a bit of services. Things that are differentiated, we think, from other programs is the human-centered design and customer journey, the tech readiness, which we really put a lot of value on, agile development. If you have a hardware component, we can do full design and prototyping. We do branding assessment and branding support. We can register your company. Remember that the business park is a free zone. It's a special development zone, so you get a lot of tax breaks. We can help you with due diligence. If you have IP questions, we can route those as well. Business plan support. Once you're done with your business plan, we're going to have an expert read your business plan and improve the language. Okay, because we're reading your business plans and, you know, we're going to see some errors. We're going to see some, somebody has a question. I'm told. So,
Yazan,
yeah, please go ahead. Hi,
كيف
Yazan.
حالك؟ دكتور regarding legal counselors الموجودين عندكم, if we want something مش بالجوردانيan law, are there expertise that can support this requirement? For
Yes.
example, in the US or in the Saudi market or so on and so forth.
Yes. Yani if not directly through other. Yani I would say نحن we cover more the offshore. That's the, but we have also, they're not, yani they're partners, but they're not service providers in these hot markets, Saudi, so we can route you.
Okay.
And see. And if there's something that we're not providing as a service, then do please let us know. Another thing is, so that was the business plan support, is basically enhancing your copy of the business plan. Because if you're writing a business plan, if you have grammatical mistakes, if you have spelling mistakes, that's a turnoff for any investor, right? So we need to make sure that the language is right, but we don't have time to be correcting stuff, okay? Another thing that you have recourse to is the student startup internship program. So this will have a different form. The form link is not there yet. It'll be there by tomorrow. But then you can say, I want 2 interns to work on XYZ. Okay. And then we can start sourcing interns for you. Priority is for HTU students, but we are open for all students from all Jordanian universities to partake in this program. You get free labor, min al-akhir, and they get some experience. We sign an agreement, بينكم وبينهم, all right? Just to kind of make them feel like, oh, I'm employed, not getting paid, but I'm employed. And you have to sign off, and we have to sign off on this internship. So it's not that, okay, Ija, and they sat on a chair for 2 months and they didn't do anything. They can count that as an internship. So there's a sign off, we have a process, but please consider this as an added support. If you have anything else that you want support in and it's not here, please let us know. And then do give us feedback, right? So the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right. This is how we assess how we're doing, and also, give us good feedback. We usually know that this link is usually clicked when people have issues, which is exactly why it's there. I have an issue with Y, X, Y, Z, so my situation. You can give us feedback, and we will act upon it. But also, if you are happy with the program, do give us feedback. Okay. Lastly, طولت عليكم شوي أنا. هون we're going to be adding resources and opportunities. The resources are going to be basically linked here, but they're going to be available على Google Drive that we shared with you. Okay, مثلا master class on disruption and innovation. There's the PDF slide deck. You will find it here and on the Google Drive. Another thing that we are experimenting with now is the notion of opportunities, right? So what other opportunities are there? There could be some programs, other incubators, accelerators that give you money, grants, events, within the ecosystem. We will be putting them there. So to summarize, this Airtable is our primary mode of communication, so that we can make sure communication does not depend on Yazan, are you free next week? I need to talk to you about strategy. Book me on Calendly, right? I need to give feedback. Do it first on here, and then let us know. Okay. So and again, if you find difficulties in using this, if there are some issues, then you will Nadine is your point of contact for that. I'll stop for a minute and just see if anybody has any comments or questions on Airtable before I move to Live Plan. Okay.
دكتور بس في عندي سؤال في أي انستركشن أو فيديو بيحكي كيف أعمل كرييت للبروفايل تبع الكومباني على لأني حاولت طلبت شوي امبارح بس إذا بتعطيني من وين
لا علي, you are a late comer on the had. نحن we do this for you. So here's Roshetta, and we're going to start adding.
أوكي
Okay, there is nothing you need to do. There is nothing that you need to learn on this tool, except that you're, you're there. And if the information is wrong, you just let us know. نظبطها. Okay, and we'll be adding you here within the founders as well. Okay.
تمام.
فما في شيء
معناته ببعث لكم أنا المعلومات ومن عندكم
بالضبط. Exactly.
الحمد لله.
عندنا معظم معلوماتك عندنا KYC. So just wait till today and then check and see if the information we have is correct or not.
Thank you.
Okay, life plan. Okay, so you will receive, you have received an invitation to get on Life Plan, and you have a 12-month professional license. Okay, what is Life Plan? It's as simple as, it's your business planning and financial modeling solution. It's a SaaS solution, and without a business plan, we can't say, we can't get you to leave this program without a business plan. Okay. Okay, you have your pitch, but we need to make sure that you have the business plan. There are several sections here, and there's an onboarding session that you can watch. We sent you an email to watch it. And Life Plan is easy to use. So you've got the plan section. You can see here that you received this with a template, okay? And the executive summary, opportunity, the company execution, so on and so forth. This core Delta section, once you are done with the program, developing your business plan, all these things that we have put in, you can delete or just not use to export. Okay, so this is telling you welcome on board, ايش the program objectives, how to use Life Plan, the business plan template, the milestone schedule, the pitch. The pitch, we know you have pitches already. The pitch is just very easy to fill out that allows us to just make sure that we have the story correctly. So this is not to replace your pitch and not to add more time on you, but just so that we have a pitch, and I'll show you that in a bit. One thing that's very important, every facilitator, every team member, every collaborator is bound by a non-disclosure agreement. So if we find a need to give access to your business plan to somebody that is supporting you, then that is bound by a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, as we are bound by a non-disclosure agreement. This is your baby, this is your business plan, this is your secret sauce. So we take this very seriously. But hey, you need to develop a business plan, and we need to know what it is. So don't be afraid to share information that you consider as sensitive, because we need to understand where you are exactly. Okay, so you can go through this. So the flow and expectation, you can read it. Not going to go through here. Again, we have links to the deep dive session recordings, the masterclass recordings, where the content and the resources are. So you have multiple points to access. We send it in the emails. You have it on Life Plan. You have it on Airtable. Okay. What you will see with the plan is that we have put a guide for you. Okay. So working with Life Plan is as simple as saying, okay, executive summary, we tell you how to put things in the executive summary, okay? But then you can go here and edit. So start inputting your input below this line, okay? Okay, and then when you're done, and you have your business plan, you can delete all these instructions because khalas, you're done with it. Okay, and then you say I'm done. Okay, Oops. I'm بشتغل على boxer. So you go to the opportunity. There are, again, details. Okay. So our job is not to come and tell you, listen, this is what a business model is. Like, you're an entrepreneur. Okay. We're not here to teach you the basics of business, but we're giving you, very good guide as to how you should be going around it. For example, business model validation. How do you go about business model validation? We give you a guide. Market dynamics. Who are your customers? Market size, industry, competitive landscape, how to go about that. Barriers to entry. So as you're reading this, you are improving, your business intelligence. Execution, for example, your go-to market. Okay. So on and so forth. Market plan, sales plan, how to go about it. One thing I'd like to add here is the technology audits. So Hon, you're a tech startup. We are a tech incubator. Okay. So we are in tech. And part of this is really understanding the tech roadmap, and doing a technology audit. So here we are asking you to answer questions. This will not necessarily be in your final business plan, but you go in here, and if you are not the tech person, then you invite the tech person, and we're asking a question. What is your cloud infrastructure? How do you approach designing and implementing infrastructure solutions? What is your experience level with containerization technologies, such as Docker and Kubernetes? What databases you plan to use? We need to understand this to help you develop your tech roadmap, okay? And you will be, so maybe your tech is outsourced. Then you invite your outsourced tech as a collaborator, and you ask them to fill in these questions, okay? Financials, same thing. Scalability, same thing, right? One thing I'd like to add here is the powerful financial engine. Okay, so here you have the forecast. And what you would put here is your revenue, your direct cost, your personnel, expenses, assets, taxes, dividends. This produces basically a full-fledged kind of, I don't know why it's a little bit slow. So let me give you an example. I want to add a revenue stream here, and this is a test subscription. Okay, and it's a recurring charges, and it's a sign up. And we're starting from July. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to fill these things out. And you can choose a constant amount or varying amounts. So I can choose varying amounts of pricing to experiment, just to show you the capabilities. And I can put a churn rate here of 10%, and I say create an exit. How much is the recurring charge? Is 120. Okay. What is your churn rate? Let's say 10%. You can even vary the rates over time. Okay, so now Yazan, go ahead.
Is this downloadable as an Excel sheet once it's done?
It's exportable. Yes.
Exportable. Okay, perfect.
Let me discard that. It's not exportable in Excel. Yani you need to, but you can connect it to your, either Xero or Intuit app as well. The idea here is that we will be looking at these financials. Okay, because بالنهاية you can have a great sexy story and your numbers just don't make sense. Okay, so we want to make sure that that's there. Your pro license as well allows you to benchmark. So these are US, but still you can benchmark. So you can say, I want consulting or SaaS. Let me see if SaaS brings out anything. Okay, sales financing, industrial sand mining, no. Okay, let's say software. Let's see. Okay, software publishers, computer system design and services, data processing hosted. So let's select this, and it gives you benchmarks. ايش gross margin, ايش operating margin. It can show you, especially if you have live data, it shows you how well you're doing there. Okay, there's a learning curve, yes, but it's so easy to just go here and say, okay, I want support, and you can chat with support. You have a pro license. All right, but there's also a, guide. How do I fill a forecast? How do I refine all that stuff? So this, by working on this, we make sure that you're surfacing things that you don't know, and you are developing your business plan in a way that makes sense. Last thing I'd like to mention is the schedule. So as we're working together, we want you to add these big, hairy goals, right? This is not to manage your project. Nobody's interested in, this is not project management. This is saying, version 2.0 launch. And this is going to be in June. Who is responsible? CTO. Yes, you can put some details here. This, that, and the other. Okay, and you can receive an email reminder. Okay, so now I added a milestone. Okay, these show up in the plan. You can include them in the plan, but that way we say that not only are we helping the startups, but we have an actionable plan forward, right? So whether it's hiring people, whether it's registering the company, all these things, we want to start seeing them there. There's, again, a learning curve. There's a dashboard here. You can invite users. So you can add, let's say you want to add it to a guest or a contributor. You can add unlimited contributors. So you control that, okay? So let's say you hired an accountant, or you hired a financial guy, so you can add them as a contributor and they can edit. Okay. The power of this is that we can go here, and again, I don't know why this is taking time. I guess because I'm on Zoom. Personal. Let me go to the plan. The thing about it here is that I can go here and talk about your exit strategy, and people can post comments. So you can invite a collaborator and tell them, please look at this section of the business plan and tell me what you think. You don't need to sit with them. I think this is great, but needs some facelifting, whatever. Right? And I post a comment. Okay. So this is, I'm working on boxing, okay? So what we have access to is that we have all the companies here, okay? So I can go to each company, and let's say Majliscom, go to company, and 3 months in, there's nothing on the business plan. Nadine will signal, hey guys, what's happening with the business plan? We need to see it. We'll go to look at the forecast. The powerful thing about the forecast as well is that you can create scenarios. So you put your financials, and then you say, I want to create a new scenario. And this is, I'm going to call the scenario worst case. Okay. And you can copy it from an existing scenario and play with the numbers. So you're doing kind of sensitivity analysis and testing. Okay. So it's a very powerful tool as you're starting to develop. This is not to completely replace your Excels, but it's to help us make sure and say that these guys graduated and they have a solid financial model. So this is it. I know طولت عليكم شوي, but just to give you kind of an overview of how we'll be managing with life plan. And again, the pitch here is just very simple. So you go here and you say, the target market. It allows you to add a market segment, and it's just very high level. Okay, but this pitch part here is the business story in a pitch, not to replace your pitch deck. just to make sure that you're answering these main areas. You know, what is the problem worth solving? Okay? Describe it. It's giving you 250 characters. So that is very easy to use as a communication tool with our coaches. So iPass بدهم يحكوا مع حدا with regards to SaaS pricing and running business experiments on that. Do you want to spend half an hour telling them, Yazan, what iPass does? Or do you want them to come to the meeting prepared?
Of course, coming to the meeting prepared, yeah.
This is the idea, okay? Any questions? أسئلة, preguntas? أنا رافع إيدي ليش؟ جد؟ Okay. Well, ولا حدا عنده ولا سؤال. طب يعني either
me.
كثير أنا بشرح منيح.
والله شرحك واضح ووافي دكتور.
حبيبي. Thank you. Okay.
دكتور بس
Please go ahead.
كنت بدي أسأل بعد إذنك عن موضوع إذا بدور على outsourced لسبيسيفيك فيلد زي UI UX. هلا أنا بدي I'm looking for a freelancer, for example. We think our website needs improvement in a special subject. Do you have a pool of expert where I can, for example, to
Yes,
great.
we have two UI UX experts. They يعني again نحن إذا بدك complete. By the way, we went a little bit over time, 11:05. So thank you for joining, and anybody that needs to just drop off the call, please do so. Anybody that still has some questions or wants to comment on something or just chat with us, I mean, we'd love to hear your voice, so stay on the call. To answer your question, نعم عندنا UX UI experts. We can cover certain things, but let's say you need a whole redesign of your user journey, then we can potentially cover a portion of that, but definitely in terms of advising, assessment, consultations here and there, we can definitely cover that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Yazan, if I may, Maha.
Hi, Maha.
Keepcom. Hello, everybody. And I just, before I leave, I just wanted to give feedback. This was very good, صراحة, very focused. And at this stage, I think this is what we need. إنه حدا يعطينا direction to focus على كل part. And I feel I'm excited for all the sessions and all the focused direction to fill in all of that to get the end result that we need. So thank you, and looking forward.
Thank you. And see you sooner than later.
Yeah, all right. See you in a bit. Bye. Bye.
Great. Safe. Yeah. Safe, but he had his hand raised. You're safe.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Dr. Reza. Thank you, team. That's a very, very helpful introduction. But just a follow-up, Dr. Reza, regarding the talents that you have. Do you have any talents that are not in the services, like a hiring pool from HTU or the Jordanian universities, other than the interns?
يعني graduates نحن
Yes.
الجامعة is تعليم من أجل التوظيف. Right? And needless to say, that's going to become more and more challenging with jobs being dropped like butterflies. But definitely عندنا a pipeline that we can let's say you want somebody who is an expert in infrastructure security, but they're a recent graduate. Okay, we can try to source that. This is not very well developed. It's a work in progress. But even if you say, listen, I'm looking for XYZ, then we can activate our network. in terms of if you want somebody as a full-time hire for the team, then we can activate our network.
And that goes through the Airtable, like through the services, or just how do we initiate that?
No, that goes through Airtable, and because it's not, yani, let me just go back to Airtable for clarity. Okay, so anything that is, I need to answer you and any other person that is thinking, yeah, but can they help me with X? Well, what you can do is go here and say, can you help me in that? Okay, it's not here, and we will reply to you on that. But the student startup internship program is, there's a process, and there are things that you need to fill out, like what are you looking for? Yeah, so it's kind of you're doing a call, and then we share that مع عمادة شؤون الطلبة, and we could share it as well with other universities, and then we get you potential candidates, and then you lead the conversation.
Great. All right. That's good. Thank you very much, Dr. Field.
Now, just one thing, to mention as well, that there are certain things that, for example, if you look at the journey here, there are certain things that we would need to deliver the session first, مثل running business experiments. If you want coaching on the running business experiments, it needs to be after we've ran that, right? But مثلا, you need to sit down quickly with somebody for UX UI. Even if we have not done the session yet, you can start requesting these services. Okay, because we want, يعني بدنا البروجرام يسحب معكم ويمشي على البيس اللي انتم بدكم تمشوا عليه, not necessarily البيس اللي البروجرام عم يمشي عليه. Okay. Dara?
Hi Yazan, thank you so much. أنا بنفس المجال that the others are asking. هلا, if we have certain names أو حدا that we're considering to outsource or either to employ, can you advise on them? يعني, can we consult with you and give us
Yes.
feedback? Yeah.
Yes, there's multiple ways we work around that. One, if that entity person is, let's say, kick-ass, then we might bring them into our network.
Okay.
And cover that. But definitely we're happy to, provide some input or feedback on your needs.
Okay. Very good.
Cool. So again, it's great to have you all on board. Please, let's iron out any issues if there are with regards, for example, to misinformation على Airtable. The summary of today is that Airtable, along with LifePlan, are going to be main points of communication and support to you. We are very excited. We hope you are as well, and let the journey begin, as they say. So thank you all for attending, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yazan.